Folks, welcome back. I have your latest home prices and insights for Peel and Durham region for week ending July the 20th, 2022. Today's story is quick, short, but very, very important. Sales are down. If we're talking about the Peel and Durham region, they're down between 30% to almost 50%, depends on which region you're talking about. So volume, way down, and across the GTA, way down, similar numbers to the Peel and Durham region. So what does this mean? Let's talk about realtors' income. I gotta kind of sit back when I say that because I know some of you are gonna jump all over that. But the fact that sales are down 30 to 50%, that means many realtors have had their income chopped down by 30 to 50%. Why is that important to know? That's a huge chunk in income being reduced. Think about if your income got chopped down by 30 to 50%. Well, here's what we're seeing in the field, and here's what's going to happen even more. Many realtors are going to resort to gimmicks. They're going to resort to all sorts of things that are going to try to entice you to use their services. Be careful for that. Sometimes what sounds too good to be true probably is, and if it's a gimmick, well, it's just that. It's a gimmick. Realtors should be competing on, in a fantasy world, should be competing only on quality service, professional service. If you're selling, to maximize that. If you're buying, to buy for as low and protect you, and with the offers got to be legal and protect you on both sides. Just a great experience. That's what they should be competing on, but not every realtor can, so they'll resort to gimmicks. Be careful about that. If you feel this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. Let's get into the numbers. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, it's really simple. Below this video, in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you. This way I'll know ahead of time and I'll make sure my schedule's open so I can talk to you about whatever's on your mind. Let's start off with a quick summary. These are average sold prices for 3 months for detached properties only in Mississauga, which is the blue, in Brampton, which is the green, and for Durham, the red line. And for Durham, I'm looking at Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby as my Durham sample. You can see here, average sold price, down slightly for Mississauga, down quite a bit for Brampton, and for Durham, it's up just by a little bit. Let's break it down further. So here's Mississauga. Again, detached properties only are in these numbers. Broken down by week for a year. Average for week ending July 20th, 37 detached properties were sold in Mississauga. It's not a lot. Sales are way, way down. 37 were sold. 5 of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price came down from the previous week. It's now sitting at $1,517,000. A huge difference from where we used to be. If we look at the craziness of being over 2.1 million and say, well, yeah, that's just nuts. We were, quite a bit of time around high 1.8 to 1.9. But we're now at 1.5 million for an average sold price. Well, 1,517 is 3% lower than last year's average sold price. And we're seeing this more and more now, where the average sold price is lower than what it was a year ago. I think pretty soon it's actually going to be pretty steady that way. Median price is 4% lower than what the median price was a year ago. 3 months ago, median price was at 1.6. It's now at 1,375 for the median price in Mississauga for detached properties. Year-to-date sales, we have 39% fewer sales in Mississauga this year than we had last year, year to date. Of the 37 that sold, only 27% sold at list price or more. Last year, 60% were selling at list price or more. It's obviously far more competitive a year ago. Listings, 9% fewer listings, and months of inventory is sitting at 3.1 months of inventory. Came up slightly from a week ago, but if you kind of sit back, this chart goes back 3 months. Well, we were at 1.3, but you know, if we go back a little further, we were at 0.5, 0.4, 0.7. This goes back at 1.3, and even from then, we can see months of inventory climbing. Here's Brampton. Brampton's been taking a beating when it comes to prices. 37 detached properties were sold. None sold at $2 million or more. It's 2 weeks in a row now. And actually, if we go back 4 weeks, 3 of the 4 weeks, no properties were sold at $2 million or more. Sales has been going down almost on a weekly basis, but overall going down. Again, 37 detached properties were sold. Average sold price is $1,160,000. Prices went up fairly quick, but they're coming down just as quick. $1,160,000 is 3% lower than last year's average sold price. Median price is 4% lower than last year's median price. 3 months ago, the median price was 1.4. Now it's 1.1. And the median price is fairly close to the average sold price. 1.1 for median price, 1,160 for the average sold price. Year-to-date sales, 44% fewer sales this year. I keep stressing that. Excuse me. 44%. I keep thinking half. Imagine half the activity has been wiped out. Now, I know last year was a record-breaking year, but, you know, it sets a precedent. And, yeah, maybe we can't keep up with those numbers, but half the sales have been chopped away. Well, 44% of the sales anyways. Listings, 12% fewer listings year-to-date this year versus last year. Months of inventory is sitting at 3.7, and you could see it here going up. Months of inventory is just heading higher and higher, it seems, almost every week. Although last week it came down from last week, it's still pretty much elevated. Average days on market is 19. Now, let me just make a quick comment on average days on market. Many of you are looking at that or hearing me and saying, we talk about 19. I'm seeing properties sitting out there for 2, 3, 4 months. You're right. Average days on market is more accurately explained as listings days on market and not property days on market. Meaning, if a property is on the market for 30 days and the seller decides we're going to put a new price and they cancel that listing and they relist it, days on market starts from 0 again for that new listing. Eventually, after several price reductions, they get it to the right price and boom, somebody jumps on it right away and maybe it sells in 2 days. Well, that's going to affect the overall average days on market because it only goes by sold properties and how long has that listing been up. So if it's a cancel and relist, it's going to bring the average days on market down. That's why it's sitting at 19, where if we're looking at property days on market, it would probably be 40, 50 maybe. Here is Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby. This is my Durham sample. 42 detached properties were sold. 2 of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price is up by about $14,000 from the previous week. It's now sitting at $1,115,000 for the average sold price of a detached property in the Durham region. 1.6 was the high. Let's forget that because that's a crazy number. We spent many weeks, 2 months here in the 1.5 range. It's now $1,115,000, which is 2% lower than where the average sold price was a year ago. Median price is 6% lower than where the median price was a year ago. 3 months ago, the median price was $1,220,000. It's now $1 million. It's actually, this is a rounded number. It's $999,900 is the median price, rounded to $1 million. But in reality, it's just under $1 million. Sales year to date, 32% fewer sales this year versus last year, and 3% fewer listings this year versus last year. Months of inventory came down slightly, sitting at 1.7 months of inventory. So the Durham region has the lowest average sold price. It also has more activity than most other regions. It also has the lowest months of inventory, but it's climbing, and prices are coming down fairly quick overall. You could see the months of inventory climbing there. Average days on market is sitting at 13. Looking at condos, this is for all of Peel region, although the majority of these condos are being bought and sold in Mississauga. This is all Peel region condos. 30 condos were sold, none were sold at $1 million or more. Average sold price is now $602,000. It's come down quite a bit from the mid 700s where we peaked at, but average sold price went up quick. It's not coming down as fast, but it is coming down. $602,000 is 8% higher than where the average sold price was a year ago. Median price is 9% higher than the median price a year ago. Median price is $600,000. Average sold price is $602,000, pretty much the same. Year-to-date sales, 26% fewer sales this year than a year ago, 4% more listings than a year ago, and I'm again talking year-to-date. And months of inventory is sitting at 4.2 months of inventory. Remember when they were 0.3 months of inventory for condos in Peel and everybody's tripping over themselves? Those days are gone. We're now sitting at 4.2. Average days on market is 28. Here's a quick summary. Again, Ajax, Pickering, Whitby, the lowest months of inventory, but overall it is trending up. All months of inventory elevated. We're kind of sitting in most regions in a balanced market because of where we came from. I know I keep repeating this. It's going to feel like a buyer's market. At some point, we should see a leveling off of markets. I'm not necessarily saying that prices are going to, stay steady. We'll see how the markets behave, but at some point, panic sellers are going to be out of the way, and it's just going to be people coming onto the market for the first time, and people are going to start to get used to, buyers are going to start getting used to the interest rate at some point when they stop raising interest rates, and then we should really get a good idea of where things are headed. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day.